Towards the start of May, there were at least 5 coronal mass injections from the Sun. These would reach the Earth several days later and allow for the potential for huge aurora storms in both hemispheres. The anticipation started ramping up in the news and on social media, and the potential opportunity was too good to miss. However, everything would need to align. Would we get dark skies and no cloud cover, or would we miss out on what could be the display of the century? Join us as we head into the mountains in hope of witnessing and photographing this incredible phenomenon.
So how do we know that the aurora might be big tonight? Well, it's actually been given a geomagnetic storm forecast of G4, some places even reporting G5. And that G4 number, that's the first time we've seen that in over 20 years. So tonight we could get a full sky aurora.
Psst, hey, details about this location along with over 50 others are in my Banff photography location guide. There's a link in the description below.
So as you might be able to tell, it is of course completely cloud covered right now pretty much, or maybe 95%. And that is completely typical of any night where there is a big aurora forecast. However, I do have a little bit of hope. So I've been checking a certain app called Clear Outside, and I hope that one is correct. It was saying full cloud coverage at about 8 or 9, so far it's right. But at about 10 or 11, we should get about 20% cloud coverage. And that means 20% cloud and 80% full aurora. Fingers crossed. So we're going to bunker down here at Cascade Ponds, build a fire, have some dinner, and kind of wait it out and hope some of this cloud does move and that the aurora is still going strong when the sun comes down. But I might grab a few reflection shots at blue hour if the kind of conditions permit. But if not, stick around and we'll see if we can get some epic aurora shots later on tonight. So I decided to pop around the other side of Cascade Ponds here and just get a kind of what's a relatively obvious composition, but just of the reflection of Mount Rundle and the bridge in the pond below here. But what I've done actually, I've got nice and low, just because the lower you get, the more reflection you're going to get and less kind of just dead space in the water below. So the light's not the best, but there is a bit of a moody, kind of cloudy sky at the moment. And hopefully that sky will clear up later on. And this is a great little composition for aurora if it's a full sky aurora and we get it right overhead. So a good little bit of location scouting and not a bad image to start the night.
As the sun began to set and we sat down to eat dinner, golden light started to kiss the top of Mount Rundle and the clouds started to catch a little bit of colour.
So I thought I was done for the night, but the sky just kind of lit up this really nice soft pink, so I had to run around a bit and take a few more pictures and go back to that spot I shot at earlier. But the cloud coverage this evening has meant for a really nice sunset, and it is clearing a little bit over here as well, just behind me, which is to the north where the northern lights will be later on. So if we get that light, that pink soft light in the evening and then a full sky aurora tonight, this will be the perfect evening of photography. So this is the cloud coverage for tonight. You can see here it's about 9:30 and we're sat between 92 and 69% predicted cloud coverage. But by about 11 to midnight here, it goes down to 13%. So that is what we're going to be waiting for. So just check the Aurora forecast just to see where it is sat right now on this little app. And when it loaded, it just exploded in red. That blue dot is where we're currently sat, right in the middle there. And on this app, the red is as strong as it gets. It's all the way down to like the mid-US. Sky's clearing, sun's coming down. This could be incredible.
Once the sun had dropped below the horizon and twilight had engulfed the sky, we sat watching the stars as faint green beams started to appear in the distance.
It's not actually quite dark yet. We've probably got about half an hour of nautical twilight left, but you might just about be able to see it on the camera here. I'm picking it up now filming, and I've never been able to do that before, so super excited for it to get properly dark. I think you might just about be able to see the lights in the sky just behind me. So just a quick tip if you are shooting Aurora, if you're ever trying to go out yourself and do it, is that you can actually use a quicker shutter speed than you might expect. Definitely use a really fast lens, like an f1.8, f1.4 if you can. Use a high ISO, like most cameras can handle a really high ISO nowadays, but maybe aim for more like kind of 1 or 2 seconds of exposure, because the northern lights actually kind of dance and move throughout the sky. So if you use a long shutter speed like 20 or 30 seconds, you just end up with a sheet of green or a sheet of purple. But if you use 1 or 2 seconds, you're actually going to get some structure and detail in the sky. So experiment, you might need a quicker shutter speed than you might expect.
Then suddenly, at about 12:30 at night, almost out of nowhere, the sky just lit up.
So in all honesty, I'd kind of given up hope earlier on. It was, you could see the lights, but you couldn't see them moving and you couldn't see them that bright. And I was almost considering packing up and going home, and then it absolutely kicked off. Like you can even see them here behind me in the footage. Absolutely incredible. I've got a few shots around here at Cascade Ponds. We're going to shoot around a few other locations, probably 2 Jack, maybe Minnewanka, Vermilion, just stop off on the way and probably grab some more. But I'll show you those pictures when I get them. So what an incredible night. We ended up staying out until about 3 in the morning, and then I came home and slept for like 3 hours and went to work at 7 in the morning. But I have got plenty of images to edit, and hopefully some of those have turned out really well. You'll have already seen some of those, so let me know what you think of those in the comments below. But that Aurora storm was huge. It was right overhead, and you could even see it in the south. And the great thing about that is it gave lots of opportunity to shoot compositions facing south, which you just don't normally get to do. And that Aurora storm was seen as far south as Mexico. It was seen throughout all of the US states, and it was seen throughout the UK, in Germany, in Poland, in the Netherlands. It was all over. So it gave the opportunity for thousands and hundreds of thousands of people to see the Northern Lights that might not normally get the opportunity to do so. But I hope you enjoyed that video. In the future, I'm thinking of doing a video about how to best see the Northern Lights in Banff, so be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see that. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.